I'm flying so low. At least I'm flying free. To those who crown me, take a message back from me.
Defying gravity. Kiss me. I'm defying gravity.
I have no clue what she says there.
Me either. Hello, food enthusiasts and political junkies, and welcome to our final episode of
Los Leftovers.
I'm Glinda,
And I'm Elphaba
and together we'll be your cultural connoisseurs.
for today.
Yes, now you may have known us before as Huberto and Daniel, but not today. Today, we are holding space to defy gravity. I'm Glinda. I'm the princess that came down in a bubble because she is a princess. So fight me on it. And yeah, we have Miss Elphaba herself, the Wicked Witch of the West.
Girl. I don't know what is going on. I feel kind of funny because I feel like you should have this, but trust, I am not giving him this wand.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is my wand. I found it.
You know what? I'll take the shoes.
Finders keepers.
I'll take the shoes.
No. These are not my Revy Root slippers.
Oh.
Trust. These are my green Cortezes. But it's been a while. It's been a while since we've been here. There's been a lot going on in the world, in Oz, in everywhere. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Where do we even start, Huberto?
Let's start from the very beginning. No. I don't know. We can start with like what was day of like for you?
Well, election day. I was fine, to be
Really?
honest. Like, start of the day, I was like, here we are. We have been doing so much. Like, we have been doing all like these volunteering efforts in Arizona in particular. We had a lot of different like partners like nationwide coming to visit and like helping us knock doors and whatnot. I had seen so many people say like, oh, this is my first time ever like volunteering and doing canvassing in this capacity and yada, yada, yada. I know we had poll watchers, all this other stuff. And I felt like pretty like, okay, like, you know, being a part of this election cycle and the capacity that we have, it felt to me like, okay, like it'll probably be close. But I felt like, you know, I had hope.
Yeah.
I had a lot of hope. I can't lie. But I think it all started to like get to me in the evening when the start of the election results were like coming in.
Yeah.
And I felt something in here.
Oh,
I felt
God.
something in my gut and in my spirit. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm getting scared boots here.
No, at least you had a realistic feeling because I was delusional the whole night. It didn't hit me until like the very next day when they finally were like, these are the results. Because similar to you, I also was like very hopeful. I felt really good from the beginning. I was like, we're for sure going to win. We're doing everything right. You know, all the work that we've done like all throughout Arizona. But then, yeah, as the night progressed, I started seeing people, they were definitely like, we're definitely like losing this. But like me, I'm the type of person that's like, it's not over until it's
over.
over. Like until they call it and like the election and they're certified, anything could happen. And so even with like literally, I think he was only like one state away from winning. Like I was holding on to that hope. And then the next morning I woke up and they like officially certified and I was like, all right, fine.
Yeah. So it was funny because I remember in the evening, some of my friends were texting me and they were like, oh, I'm scared. I'm like, oh, like I'm nervous. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm scared at this point.
Right.
But I went to sleep because I was like, girl, this election day drained me.
Yeah.
This election season drained me.
What time did you go to bed?
Oh, my Lord. Like midnight.
Midnight?
Yeah. But like, again, I didn't want to stay up too late. I feel like if it was past midnight, like I would turn into a pumpkin. I don't know. So I went to sleep. I woke up and I had received a couple texts from a couple different friends, and they were like, "How are you doing?" And I was like,
Oof.
that was
Oof.
how I found out. I
Yeah.
like checked my phone. I looked at like some of like again in Arizona the election had yet to be called, but like because of some other states, I think it was like particularly like Pennsylvania and like the supposed blue wall, whatever. I was like, okay.
Yeah, mine was like the
okay.
second I opened my eyes, I went got my phone and I get notifications from CNN, and that was like the first thing I saw was CNN or like they like AP has called for Donald Trump, and I was like,
It was such an interesting feeling. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just like me and I felt crazy in that moment, but it was like the air felt different.
yeah.
I remember I stepped outside and it just, the world
Oh
felt
no, I felt
so
like
different.
the weight of like everyone's like disappointment, like immediately. I was like, oh, we're about to.
It was like so,
Feel it.
it was so quiet. I
Yeah.
remember stepping outside. I was like, I'm gonna go get a coffee in the morning is like what I was gonna do because I like coincidentally had a therapy appointment that same day. So I was like, I'm gonna get a coffee and then I'm gonna go to therapy. And I did exactly that. But like it just was so quiet, like that entire time. Like I live downtown and usually like there's a lot of people like walking around and like talking and whatever. Even in the morning, like you'll see people going to work and all this other stuff. And like it just like it did not feel like that. That was a very it was an odd day, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh my lord. But I don't know. I think now, like a month later, like, are there any new feelings that like you're sitting with? Are there any like new, like, just like thoughts that you've had just about how everything played out? Like things that like we could have done better or like just in general?
I mean, I don't know if it's like, I don't think it's on us to be better. I think, and I think we've been hearing this about like Democrats in general. It's just like the way that we have this connection between like the people, because Donald Trump, his success was in the fear, and we've seen it before, and like it's worked for him before. Also, yeah, just the way that he was able to like get on different platforms and like spread the message. Like I think. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's anything like about like the people on the ground to do like that needs to be better, because we did everything we could. It's just I
Yes.
think an unfortunate that like it's an unfortunate time that I think just people are just like kind of over like the BS from like Democrats. And so I think like yeah, we saw like a large wave of like Latino men that voted, which was like shocking. But in weird way, also not shocking. It was, yeah, it's weird. I almost feel like, I don't feel numb, but I'm also just like, the things are starting to make sense in a way. Like everything, like why he won. I'm just like, yeah. And I don't know if we just didn't catch it or they were just moving differently or.
Yeah, I feel
So-
like to a certain degree, yes, it does make sense. And that's also the thing though, where I'm just kind of like, it unfortunately
Right.
makes sense. You know
Right.
what I mean? Unfortunately, yes, of course. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, people are just not super educated on certain topics. And yes, okay, he says he's gonna like lower the prices, buy tariffs, blah 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 blah. I guess like someone that doesn't entirely understand might feel like, okay,
Right.
well, again, the Trump years, like everything was fine, blah,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. It wasn't expensive, blah 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 blah. And it's just like it was frustrating at this point. Like, I can't necessarily tell you exactly how I feel about it as a whole, but it's just like, just like American society, like we are like quick to forget and like we're so individualistic and whatnot. And it's just like the capacity in which like all of that, just like, of course, because of the way that our society has run, of course, because of the way our society works, of course, because of all of that, and because of the times, like he won. Of
Yeah.
course. Like the math is mathing.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
No, yeah, and it's crazy because I feel like there was also like so many different, like it's weird because I feel like everyone was trying to like pinpoint exactly what went wrong, but I feel like it was a facet of things. I think it was from like the messaging, but also like the education, from
Well-
like the platform. Like there was so much that was like, no, it's not one specific thing. It was like it was multiple things that cater to his win.
Yes.
So,
And well, that's the thing. I feel like a lot of times, like within like the last like decade, we have thought about Donald Trump as a sort of like enigma. Like where did he
Right.
come from and blah 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 blah. But to be honest, like he is a product of the system and has benefited from the system. Like everything up to this point has led up for someone like him that is like a misogynist, that doesn't really care, that has money, that has these connections, and yada yada yada. That is a white man.
Yeah.
Like for that to happen and for him to just like win and like not have to face the consequences of his actions and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like it is just like a larger representation of just like the problems in our society as a whole. And yes, like there is a lot to blame when it comes to the Democrats. Like they have like really abandoned a lot of the things that they have talked about and like held to their hearts. Like I remember the Democratic establishment and the Democratic Party of like 4 years ago on immigration was completely different.
Right.
I would dare say again, like if you would 10 years ago, they were not saying the like stupid things that they say now, and the way that they fall into these dumb right-wing talking points about immigration and about all this other stuff. And it's just so frustrating and annoying and dumb because it's like the numbers always show it is not immigrants crossing the border with drugs. It is American citizens. They are the ones that are doing it. And like Claudia Sheinbaum, the president-elect of, well, I guess la presidenta now of Mexico. Do you remember that letter she wrote to like Donald Trump?
I think
Just
so.
recently,
Yeah.
like she wrote a letter and she was kind of like, the drug problem is not a Mexican problem. It's an American problem. It is an American consumption problem. We are the ones that are having to take the brunt of it because of like the way that like it all just kind of ends up flowing into our country. Like
Right.
it is because of you. It is you, girl. Don't be talking about me. The call is coming from inside the house. Don't be talking. No. And it's just like, of course. It's just oh my goodness. Like I feel like regardless of the outcome and everything, like I'm still a hopeful person. Do you know
Right.
what I mean? And like
Yeah.
I know that there will be a day. Do you know what I mean? Like we will get La Reforma
Right.
one day.
Yeah.
We will have La Reforma. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
one day we will get everything that like we have talked about. And I think in these moments, like I think about like I would like to say like I feel like I have like queer ancestors. So it's like it doesn't make sense, and it does make sense to me.
Yeah.
Like spiritually speaking, I feel like I have queer ancestors. We
Yeah,
have
yeah,
queer
yeah.
ancestors. Do you know what I mean? And like I think about them and like their moments of like greatest trials and like pain and all this stuff, and I think how desperate and alone they must have felt. Do you know what I mean? And even through that, do you know what I mean? Like
Right.
we still got to where we are today. Is it perfect? No. Do you know
Right.
what I mean? But like at the end of the day, it is our responsibility. It is our cross and burden to carry to like make things better for the next generation.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I don't, and I think that's the point of like the work that we do is that, like it probably will never be perfect. There will, but we still continue to like go at it.
It's
and,
a work
like,
in progress.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what's crazy too? The way that Wicked came out at just the right time. I feel like somehow
Let's go on that yellow brick road.
No, literally, because just like Defying Gravity says, they will never bring us down. Like, I feel like
no
there's
wizard that
yeah,
there is or ever
Ever was.
was. Let's sit with that for a second.
Yeah, you
no
could never.
wizard that there is or ever was. It's very much, mama, a past behind you, but mama, a whole world in front of you. Let's trust.
No, you ate with that one. Oh, you did a little big one with that one.
Well, yes. Well, yes, but enough of ese naranjón
Yeah.
and his pendejadas. What else is tea? What's got you going recently? What was kind of like your pick-me-up after the results and such?
Oh, it's literally Wicked. I'm obsessed with Wicked. I'm not even kidding. Like, that's all I've seen it twice now. Cried. I have the soundtrack. Yeah, also just nothing else has really been. It's the holidays. Well, end of the year. So we're just kind of wrapping up. We have a short amount of time till shit hits the fan.
Yes.
But, but honestly, Wicked has like literally lifted my spirits. I have a lot of fun with that movie, and it's a great movie.
Yes.
Ariana ate down. Cynthia ate down.
Trust.
Everyone
Everyone ate
Nessa,
down. You
Watch
are
your
going
back, girl.
down. The house is going down on
I
you.
got you. Yep. Also, Dorothy, listen, you're not that slick either. I've got my eye on you because you, at the end of the day, threw the bucket. So it's
Hey.
it's words for you too.
But like also in that capacity, that story also is also again very representative of like our culture
Exactly.
as a whole. Do you know
Yep.
what I mean? The way that they like fear monger against the animals and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, these animals like they're taking all our
No,
resources.
literally, like-
blah 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 blah. The way that like Linda comes in and basically becomes like a political head and figure, and she's the good witch,
But she's
you
still like part of the system. and
Yes,
the problem.
exactly. She
Yeah.
is part of the propaganda machine against everything that is happening, and the people that are standing up, Alphaba, my dear, are getting like charged. They are enemies of the state.
Right. So let's sit with that and let's think about that whenever
It's
we're thinking
crazy.
about our fellow immigrants and their
Truly,
community.
our fellow like just people, oppressed people everywhere,
Yeah.
munchkins and animals alike. Well, I think last question.
Yeah.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Is there anything that we're sitting with where we're trying to enter the new year?
Actually, no, because I feel like I don't know. I'm not a big resolution person because I also don't want to be basic and be like, oh, I'm gonna be healthier and like, I don't know. I'm going into my 30s this new year, so it's a new era. I definitely would love to be more artistic, more creative. I'd like to be more critical, not be such a bimbo. I think my bimbo days are behind me, I fear. And yeah, I think that's pretty much what it is. And just be more of the people. I feel like this year I've been very much like I'm outside, but I'm also inside. Like it's a good balance, but I think I want to be more with the people. I want to hey.
Well, that is interesting. That is lovely. I don't know. I feel like I'm just trying to be even more intentional with my time and just continue to be grateful for everything we have and everything we got.
Yeah.
But that I feel like leads me to everything we did this season.
Yeah. We did a lot this season.
We did.
This first season was a lot of fun, and it was a roller coaster. So if you haven't seen like our whole season, don't worry.
We
It's
got
not too
something
late.
special for you.
We are here to give you some of our best moments.
The visuals.
That we thought were just top tier. We hope you enjoyed this first season. And yeah, we are excited to see you guys next year. And we'll be your cultural connoisseurs then.
As long as you'll have us.
Yeah.
Because remember, when we win together, because we did win, we will eat together.
We will eat together. So let's win.
We're
Let's
eating right
continue
now.
winning.
Queen never cry.
You know, say it again.
Queen never cry.
We'll see you next year.
Or not.
The Oscar noms were definitely interesting, to say the least. Yeah, quite a few snubs,
Absolutely.
unfortunately, which is like, I don't know. I feel like it's every year there's always going to be a snub that, I think the people would have chosen instead. But this year in particular was kind of an interesting choice to snub certain people. Do you watch it like the Academy Awards?
From time to time, it's like, girl, I'm not going to pay for cable. I'm sorry. You're not getting my money. On Barbie, too, though, we do have to give some people their flowers.
Yeah.
America Ferrera was nominated for the first time this year, which is love to see Central Americans win.
Honduras, stand up. That's my girl.
Love her. What made this like nomination in particular like pretty special is he's like the he's gay. Do you know what I mean?
Bradley Cooper is like nominated too, right? Didn't he play a queer character?
He did, and
Yeah.
that I think is Maestro.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What if Bradley Cooper wins over? That would be crazy.
That's big T.
That's crazy.
big T. It's so funny because also people from what I've heard on the internet speculate he's queer too. Allegedly.
Allegedly. I'm gonna spell it out. Allegedly.
No, yeah. He's also Central American. His family
Bradley
is...
Cooper?
No.
I was
Colman Domingo.
Oh, right.
Roman
like-
Domingo's family is from Belize and from Guatemala, but he grew up in New York. So Guatemala.
So Guatemalans, stand up. Let's
stand
go.
up this time, to the fact that that bill moved through the House of Representatives in 4 days.
That is crazy.
When was the last time y'all saw a bill move that quickly? Not even in the in Congress up there at the federal level, but at the state level. That fast with it wasn't even just Republicans or just Democrats. It was a very bipartisan group of people.
And speaking of James Charles, that was my four horsemen, is the fact that James Charles really eloquently.
Oh my God,
that
yes,
was
that
crazy.
video. It's been
I was
going
like,
around
the
on
day that we
Twitter.
all agreed with James Charles, I was like, oh my God, it is the end times. Well, with that being said, we're going to take a quick break and take another bite. And when we come back, we're going to have our very special guest coming into the studio. As we're talking about bills and passing things, we're going to be talking about what's happening at the Arizona State Legislature. So stay tuned.
No Chick-fil-A sauce?
Do you want to run for office? Would you ever?
So I've thought about that too, and I've always been I've always said never to, because I think it's just such a big decision, and there's so much at stake. And then, but knowing my life, I'm gonna say never, and it's gonna be on camera right now, me being I never want to run for office. Watch me become the president. Watch me by just fate. I end up becoming the president of the United States. I'm gonna be
I know the future POTUS.
hey.
I was I feel that was what Trump had. He had a Emma Roberts scream queen meltdown in the courtroom.
Oh, I just know as the hearings were happening, I know. You remember? Have you ever seen The Boys?
No.
Oh, do you know that one meme where this guy's sitting in a theater and he just hears ringing in his ear? It's just
Damn.
Oh, I wonder who.
I wonder who, Miss Ulrika Mirage. I'm not trying to. Well, actually, no, girl. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Barb.
Listen,
not really.
here's how I feel about it. Listen, I'm on Team Megan right now, in this war that we are in.
As we can see,
But
Hottie's merch.
I can't forget where I came from. I can't remember my roots. Nicki Minaj wrote Itty Bitty Piggy, and for that I will always be grateful. However, the lines have been drawn in the sand, and I am a hottie.
Oh my God.
And so, I hope that she is free. I think she is free.
She is free.
But
all I have to say is that will be a day that will forever be cemented in the TL, the timeline on Twitter. The amount of amazing responses I saw to this whole situation. Everyone kept using this one video from SpongeBob of Mrs. Puff being thrown in
oh my God.
She's just thrown in jail, and you just hear the slam of the door.
But I don't belong here.
That's basically what what is it? The Dutch police?
Yeah, that big
No, the big
titanium
door.
door. Shit.
I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
Oh my God. And the way she was so silent when they when she got in.
She also heard.
I have never seen that woman so quiet. Oh my God. Can you sign your name? Do you know? Do you remember?
Sign my name?
Yeah.
CELSA.
Yeah.
Or IDALI.
But
I
you
had a-
you at
I had
all
a-
did
I
you
had
at
an
all
amazing time.
ask him sir, hey, I actually can't really see, would you
I
mind?
did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Well, I told this girl to tell him to take
but
it
you didn't
off.
tell him directly?
No, then he looked at me, and then I was like, please take off that
See, that's
hat.
why he was looking at you crazy, because you were talking You've just been sir.
Well, he
hey.
was all the way in front of me. I can't
Oh,
reach.
he was I see.
all the way in the front. I'm not
Oh,
Mr.
I thought he was right
I'm
in
not
front
Mr.
of you.
Fantastic. What am I supposed to do? Oh,
Okay,
Lord.
okay. I thought he was right in front of you. That it was
No, he was
okay.
a good
Like a couple
5 rows in front of me. I was
Oh, I
like, girl, take off that cowboy hat.
Yeah. Damn.
We can't be having these conversations as if if Trump wins, it will be very, 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 very bad for a lot of people. And if
Oh, yeah.
you're able to remove yourself from that context, you have a privilege that needs to be checked.
Yeah, like I think about just like Project 2025.
Absolutely.
Because it's like and I think that's where people are still stuck on is like I feel like it's like the moment now when it's like we have to start thinking about like the future and like what happens
Absolutely.
after
It's
the next
about
4
the
years.
future.
Because like you said, like it was Trump who anointed like some of these people
Three
on the Supreme Court that just made like some really terrible
the
decisions.
Chevron case, making it so like judges now have like final say when it comes to a bunch of different things. Like the reason why we've had environmental protections for the last 40 years has been because of this case. Has been because it's like, okay, we're gonna let these government agencies like that know what they're doing, or at least should, be able to determine how they regulate XYZ. Do you know what I mean? Like this affects so many different industries.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Making homelessness essentially illegal. Do you know what I mean? And then like again, it's like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, and then on
Open
top
up
of that,
the schools.
and then on top of that, giving the president immunity.
Yes.
That's like, imagine that, and then now Trump. Let's say Trump does get into office, and now he has immunity. Oh, literally, you might as well just be like, "Bye, democracy."
No, that happened.
No, and speaking of songs, did you hear about Beyonce's new song?
Yes, absolutely.
It is the best. You know what? Actually, can I play a little bit, just a snippet of it? Because honestly, this should be her campaign song. It's.
Cut the cameras. Cut the cameras.
Like,
Cut
we
the
have
cameras.
evolved now over to AI.
We don't support AI in this house, by the way.
No, but like in the context
Just
of all
letting
that
it go.
is funny.
we don't do that here.
Well, anyway, we're gonna take a quick break and dig into this coconut curry, and we'll be right back faster than you can think of all the context of all in which you've lived and what's come before you. So we'll be right back.
Okay, Kamala impression. Hello. I've talked to you that are just like, okay, like I'm like actually kind of excited for this upcoming, like general election and just election in general. Funny, general election.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Politicians should be scared of us. Girl,
Oh,
we
well,
got you in
yeah.
office.
Yeah.
Hello. And like, por eso, like, it just made me so upset, like the way that like Kristen Sinema in Arizona, like the way that she acted towards like everybody that voted her. And also like she never had a town hall.
What's that?
Ever.
Yeah, what's that phrase? Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Neta, yes.
She took a
absolutely.
big old chunk off. She said, oh.
We were just having a time here in the studio because when I'm telling you, one of these antojitos is classy and the other one is not, beware.
The other one's having a brat summer. That's what I will say. One is very demure and one is having a brat summer. She's bumping that.
Maybe she's just bumping everywhere and spilling everywhere because.
But that's very brat though. So
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe?
that's brat for me.
Maybe it's just a little bit.
It has cucumber. That's brat.
I guess. I mean, it's not like a neon green, and if it were, I'd be concerned.
Yeah. What were your some of your favorite moments from the Olympics? Did you watch all of it or?
Not a lot. I do have to say, one of my favorite little moments was the opening ceremony when Lady Gaga performed. I forgot what the song it was, but it's like a classic old like
Hollywood.
French song.
Yeah.
And the like as she's singing and she takes like a pause like while she's continuing her performance, the like French moderator pregunta, like is that what
or
así se llaman?
Host or
Ojalá. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's like, Lady Gaga.
French do you know?
Actually, funny enough, I took French in high school.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Daniel.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Bertrand. Tu es tout mot français?
Oui. Qu'est-ce que vous...
Are you happy to be in Paris? Oh my god, I loved her ad era.
Her ad era?
Oh, it was
okay.
like the best. The
So-
Nintendo ad era, the
Yes,
Beyonce phone
the,
era.
The little, what was it? The like Nintendo Switch. She's like, when the Olympics roll around, even though I'm not even from the States, girl,
Oh, yeah.
I was not born
These
here.
colors don't run. These colors don't run.
But when it comes to the Olympics, best believe my pronouns are USA.
Yeah,
Insert eagle sound here.
I don't know what the is a kilometer?
What is
What
a
is that?
kilometer?
What is a kilometer?
Tell me, what is Celsius? Wait,
Don't know her.
the drink?
American man. Stand up. I don't know what it is.
I love Slim Pickens.
Not a big
Girl,
fan.
when Slim Pickens comes on, trust. Give me like a big blowout. I feel like Dolly Parton. Like I need some nails to just go.
Maybe that's what it is. It's because maybe I'm like not a big like country person, so like it's hard for me to like get into.
Anyway, I can't remember. Also, no ADHD meds. So we're having factory reset Danny.